Hello folks, this is Hidden Numismatist, back at you with another episode on my channel. I recently completed this book, and I'm sure that many of you know which one, or which last three, the last one that I did need for this book. That's probably the toughest, even tougher than the three-legged buffalo for the Buffalo Nickel series, okay? And I got the very last one that I needed from this book from a reputable long-time dealer that I've known for 10 plus years. And man, am I stoked. Because this is a set. These Buffalo Nickels are okay. It's a fairly easy set to do. But once you get down to the three-legged and some of the earlier dates and then the over date, man, it's easy but not easy, as I can say. It's not as hard as Morgan's, or I don't know, maybe if you want to do a short series of U.S. large cents, what have you. So let's get started. So this book starts, it's 1913 was the first year of the Buffalo and ended in 1938. And then I have my slab ones here, as I always do, folks, or I try to do in my videos. When I do a Dansco video, I like to have the corresponding slabs for this. So let's get started, brothers and sisters. Here is the informational page that Dansco includes. You can capture that. This is the designer of this beautiful Buffalo nickel for us, James Earle Fraser, this gentleman. Look how serious he looks. I love that. That is so tight. And he has a collared long sleeve shirt with a tie. You look pretty chill, brother. So as I said it, folks, this is it starts in 1913. And very quickly, let me show you what they mean by type 1 and type 2, or variety 1 or variety 2. The type 1, variety 1 is the 5 cents is raised on a mound. You see, there is no vertical line, horizontal line. It's much more prominent here. So the 5 cents is raised on a mound, and the type 2 is recessed. It's recessed. They did change the type 1 to the type 2 because they were getting, I believe, if I remember correctly, the 5 cents was rubbing off too damn quick because it was not recessed or protected, if you will. So this horizontal line, along with the rim, protects the 5 cents. And these are just the quick diagnostics for the three-legged, which we'll talk about in detail. And here are the mintage figures for these beautiful coins. And another little write-up that I pulled from the internet, or I believe from a numismatic magazine or coin catalog or some miscellaneous Mickey Mouse thing. Okay, so now we know the type 1, the type 2. Let's get down to business here. Struck in Philadelphia the first year. Then Denver did a type 1 and a type 2. And San Francisco did a type 1, type 2. That's really cool. At each mint that struck these did their own variety 1, variety 2. And as you can see, folks, I try to keep the grades across the album very similar. I believe it gives it more of an aesthetic to the naked eye, more of a pleasant look. And in a moment here, I will show you which one. And I bet among the 6 here, you all probably know which one it is. And I'm stoked. It has been 2 Saturdays. Not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before. And here we are, brothers and sisters. This son of a gun. This damn coin right here. The 8/7. Man, did I hunt and peck for a decent one. Because I'm sure that all of you know me by now that I like to take my time in doing a set. as I've stated, I think, before on my channel, if you have patience and endurance, the right coin will come to you. But that's a tough coin. This overdate is tougher than the three-legged buffalo, in my opinion. And many dealers agree with me. So my three-legged buffalo, which is coming up, I bought from a very, very reputable dealer. And my overdate, 1918 Denver 8/7, overdate came from another reputable dealer. And I know both of these gentlemen for years. And then later on, folks, I'll give you my information on what I look for as a counterfeit detection. Because when you're spending good money, as I've stated before, you want to get the real deal. Now, eventually, as I've also stated several times on my channel, the keys and the semi-keys and the kinds of coins that are highly counterfeited or altered, they need to be in a slab. And one day I will get them. But I know that in my heart and soul I'm content because, one, I know what the coin is. And I know it's real. But later on down the road, I may have to get them slabbed, PCGS, NGC, what have you, maybe ANEX for varieties. That's a beautiful 35S. And then that way, when I go to sell them, look, hey, this is what it is, man. Here's my D/S, another variety that I have. But Dansco didn't label the port, so I created my own. And here's my three-legged. Here's the normal one, and that's the three-legged. And you put both of these bad boys next to together, man, you see it. It pops. And then, unfortunately, in 1938, that's when it ended. Because we went to the Jefferson nickel. And as I stated, 1938 is very special to me because that's the year my daddy was born. And he enjoyed my hobby. Let me quickly show you the reverse of some of these folks. To some of you folks out there. Beautiful, beautiful, iconic U.S. coin. There's a lot of people that love the Buffalo nickels, rightfully so. It's a bit humorous, folks. I never really cared for the Buffalo nickel for whatever dumb reason. And I just held off on doing a set. But one day, the gentleman that I purchased my three-legged buffalo, that professional numismatist, as I call a handful of them a Jedi, he had this. And he had a single row 2x2 box of Buffalo nickels, keys and semi-keys and that variety. And it was a Friday. I remember that day very well. And I didn't know what I needed, what I didn't need. I didn't have my list with me, my database, nothing. And as I pushed the box toward him and said, okay, all right, Ron, you have a good weekend, sir, and I'll see you next time. And he goes, you sure ours? Are you sure ours? There aren't any, nice Buffalo nickels in there you need? And he's not necessarily trying to push a sale because he knows in his heart and soul that they're going to sell. I may not buy them, but somebody else will. Because his prices are so damn reasonable. I mean, I've gotten gold from him, either pre-33 or foreign gold for spot, for melt, or a little bit over melt. But anyway, I said, well, I don't know, Ron. I don't know which ones I need and don't need. So he says, well, I'm here tomorrow, Oz. It's Saturday. So why don't you go home, get your list, bring your book, whatever. And then I'll set you in the corner and you can look at my Buffalo nickels. I said, all right, Ron, you son of a gun. I guess I can do that. That makes sense. So we went ahead and I met that Saturday, the next morning. And I'm really proud of myself that I did that. Because like I said, I got many of these keys and semi-keys. And my three-legged from that dealer. that same day, that Saturday. It'd be 4 years ago. And then after I got major keys and semi-keys, I'm like, well, shoot. I mean, why not? Went from 1913 to 38. It's a relatively short series. I mean, it's 2 damn pages, as you see, folks. But I never really cared for it. But when you start getting the keys and semi-keys, and your album starts looking consistent across the board on the Sheldon scale, hey, man, I'm going to finish it. So this is another completed series, and this is what finished it. Thank goodness. What a relief. I can knock it off my list, and I did. It's gone. So, all right, folks. So that's the raw ones in my Dansco. These are the slabbed ones. Let's look at these real quick. 1913, first year, 63. Min-State 63. Man, that's beautiful. Now, I will show you among my slabs here, folks. I'll point out to you when I get to it which one is the one that's most beautiful, in my opinion, on my buffaloes. And gives you a damn good idea on what a nice high-grade buffalo looks like. It's the type 1. Another one here. Here's a 64. Anax 1970. Another early date. Yeah, I'm going to get that 8/7 slab, that 3-legged buffalo, at a minimum. And maybe some of the other keys to this cool set that I really didn't care for a few years ago. But my brain woke up and said, hey man, the 3-legged buffalo, dude, and it's being sold by a reputable dealer as a Jedi in numismatics. Hello? You know? All right, folks, this is the one that's, man, that's beautiful. 67. This is my highest grade. It's by ICG. Meh, it's okay. Don't really care for ICG, but they're okay. I'm still more of a PCGS or NGC, and the third distance ANAX. But man, that's a beautiful coin. And it's 1938, the year my daddy was born. God bless him. And it's a 67. Of course, my daddy was a 70. But this is, I think the dealer that I got this from, it's been 10 years, 8 years, what have you. Another reputable dealer that no longer has a shop. If I remember correctly, he bought a roll of these 38 Denvers, came into his shop. And they were all unk. And he looked at them, he bought them, and he said, I'm going to send these in for grading. And even though I paid good money for this 67 Denver, I paid a very, very, very fair price. And I don't see myself selling it for a long, long time. I love the braided. That's beautiful how it comes down on his chin. That's beautiful. Sweet coin. All right, folks. I also wanted to present to you what I use as a pocket guide. This isn't the only guide that I use for counterfeit detection, okay? But this is a pocket guide where you can just throw it in your book bag or what have you, and you go to a coin show. This is a very valuable, and it's concise. Look how thick it is. I mean, it's not huge, but it will cover all the major coins in the United States that are known to be highly counterfeited. And I turned to the 37D 3-legged, and he's basically pointing out, the author's pointing out what you need to look for, okay? And it's always 2 pages. He has images, and all 4 of these need to be there or not be there. You know what I mean? In other words, it's not a hit or miss. It's not like 2 cannot be, but the other 3 are there. No, you need all of these diagnostics have to be there for it to be a 3-legged. And as I stated, there are other reference books that I have in my numismatic library. But this is the one that I throw in my book bag to go to a show. And then I wanted to show you the over date, because I know it's in here. I know it is. Here we are, folks. This is the one that I recently finished, recently got, the Denver 8/8. Here we go. You see that 7? Look at that. Boom, the top of that 7. And the 8's not completely curved. And you see the stem, if you will, of the 7. Boom. There you go. And then that dimple you're also looking for. You gotta have that. You can't just see the 7 prominently under the 8, folks. And then here is the write-up on what you need for the 1918/7 Denver. Okay? Important. I'm hovering it so you can all screenshot this and print it if you want. I don't care. I love helping my numismatic brothers and sisters. And then this right here is just basically a photocopy. But the dealer I got it from that day that I bought my overdate photocopied it for me. But it's the same darn thing in this, both of these. So these are the diagnostics for the 18/7 Denver. And these are the diagnostics for the 3-legged. Even though this came from a different dealer, the dealer that I bought this from photocopied the 3-legged and the 8/7 for me. And I'll keep it because I don't know if it was coming from the same edition or same year. So, and the diagnostics rarely change. Unless you see in Coin World News or Coin World Magazine where another diagnostic was discovered. So, that's beautiful. The bitterness of poor quality lingers long after the sweetness of a cheap price is forgotten. That's from the author. That's beautiful. That's cool. Very philosophical. Numismatics is, man, such a fun hobby. But anyway, my friends, I digress. So these are the beautiful slabs that I have. And then I finished this book. So I think that's it. We gave James Earle Fraser, our brother here, plenty of respect for the nickel that he designed for us. Hey, bro, you got to smile a little, man. You got to. No, not at all. Just a niddle? No? Okay. What do you think about it, brother? So there you go, folks. Anyway, well, I hope that you enjoyed the Buffalo Nickel. And I'm thrilled that I finished this. This is done. Well, not done, because, you know, there's always upgrades out there, but there aren't any that I'm seeking to get to complete the set. But anyway. All right, my friends. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, please leave them in the comment section below, because, you know, as I always state, I truly enjoy interacting with all of my coin collecting homies out there in this big, beautiful world. So, and the stock number I always present to you is 7112. 7112. All right, folks. Well, you all have a blessed, wonderful evening, day, morning, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Be kind to each other, and may God bless you all. Bye-bye.